Check, check.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen,
What's
fabulous
up, people? What's
people.
going on?
Welcome to Fab Life, and here I am, the most awaited Endgame Avengers review, and here I am with a man, Timothy Dark. I think you need to put your phone on mute
I
because I
think.
can still hear it.
Sorry, social
No, it's all
media.
right. And my gosh, I'm so excited about our review together, and I'm so
Yes,
excited
yes,
about
yes.
your input and your review on this movie.
Dude, it was so awesome.
This segment is gonna be just a little bit strange because I'll try not to spoil anything for you guys, in spite of the fact that the Russo brothers said.
She wears a long fur coat of me, even in the summertime. Everybody knows from the cold middle the girls.
Check, check.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, fabulous
What's up,
people.
What's going on?
Welcome to Fab Life, and here I am, the most awaited Endgame Avengers review, and here I am with a man, Timothy Dark. I think you need to put your phone on mute
I
because I
think.
can still hear it.
Sorry, social
No,
media.
it's all right. And my gosh, I'm so excited about our review together, and I'm
Yes,
so excited
yes,
about
yes.
your input and your review on this movie.
Dude, it was so awesome.
This segment is gonna be just a little bit strange because I'll try not to spoil anything for you guys, in spite of the fact that the Russo brothers said that on the third week, you guys who have not seen Endgame yet are gonna get some major spoilers.
Which is today. Which is today.
Yeah.
Better go watch it.
Yeah, better go
That's
watch
right.
it, as the ghost audience has spoken.
We have a lot of ghost people
Yeah,
on the
ghost,
sidelines.
yeah. I love your shirt, by the way. That's
Thank
really
you,
awesome.
Thank you. I wore this just for the occasion, man.
Oh my gosh.
Just for the occasion.
So before we start with the review, I'd like my guest to introduce himself to my audience. Tim,
Hey, what's going on?
awesome guy. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. How y'all doing? My name is Timothy Dark. I'm the host of Dark Music Television.
Yes.
I'm really excited to be here and talk about
Yes.
this movie. Like,
Yeah.
this is something that I waited my whole life for. You know, like as a kid reading comic books, I always wanted to see this on the big screen done right, and they
Yeah.
really did it right.
He did. Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I am utters. I don't even know if I could do the review right now because when I think about what I saw, the
Mhm.
only thing that comes out from my mind is
Yeah, it was emotional. It was
like
an emotional ride. man.
WT. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
yeah,
OMG. It's
yeah.
like, oh, super OMG.
And I know you don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna give some.
Okay.
So-
Okay. So hold up. Before anything else, I promised my cousin Rafi from the Philippines. Hi, Rafi. Say hello
What's
to
up,
my
Rafi?
cousin Rafi.
Rafi, what's going on?
And I'm going to read his review on Endgame.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking
Okay.
about
Rafi, take it away.
Yeah, Rafi. Okay, this is his review. According to Rafi, Avengers Endgame is a movie that bookends a story that started in Iron Man 2008 and culminates here after a total count of 22 movies. This can no longer be simply called a movie franchise. It has become a series. Can now safely be, so to speak, christened as the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
I can compare this saga to be much like the great serials of the 30s and 40s, which were presented in chapters of episodes. Remember Star Wars, open and close parenthesis, and shown in theaters before the advent of TV, wherein Endgame is the concluding segment. Okay, let me read the remaining paragraph. When Avengers Infinity Wars was shown 1 year ago, the big cliffhanger on the infamous Thanos finger snap ending left audiences expecting a part 2 that continues the story it started in that movie. It therefore made me wonder why they just didn't call it Infinity War Part 2, rather than change the title with Endgame. After seeing the movie, I could now see why and can say that Avengers Endgame is a separate but concluding entry to this MCU movie serial series. In fact, in terms of story arc, Endgame is more of a contribution of plot points than that originated in Ant-Man and the Wasp, a clear prerequisite chapter before one can watch Endgame beyond events that were presented in Infinity Wars. Where Infinity War focused on the current roster of Avengers joining forces to fight a common enemy, Endgame focused on the individual stories on the original 6 members of the first Avengers film in 2012, Chapter 6. Followers have seen the genesis of these six from their first appearances from the very early entries, and they will now witness how their respective story arcs will conclude in this final chapter. Endgame literally ends the MCU as we know it today and paves the way for the new roster of Avengers, whose stories will be told on a brand new serial to the MCU saga. For those who have been religiously following the MCU series, a big emotional payoff will be in store for them in many ways than most. In terms of visual scope and cast quality, I don't think there has been something as big as this. There are a lot of very surprising appearances from characters of past entries that you would have thought that you will never see again. Some of which are portrayed by pretty big A-list actors who appear in more than just a cameo. In fact, these surprise appearances are more in service to the story of Endgame than the major MCU characters that were part of Infinity War, which briefly appear in Endgame. Balancing things out between Infinity War and the entries that followed Ant-Man, Captain America, up to Endgame, nearly all the major and semi-major characters had their fair share of quality time on screen beyond just being filler celebrity appearances. Okay, although there is so much to praise in Avengers Endgame, I can't deem it as a perfect movie. For all the big feats it managed to pack into its 3-hour runtime, the challenge it really had is in managing consistency with a storyline that spans 22 huge chapters covering major timeline events that were intertwining over the last 80 years, World War II onwards. It's really a tough job making sure that everything will make logical sense. Those who loyally followed this serial and probably saw each chapter several times over will most likely notice various... Okay, hold on. I just received a text message. Okay, hold on. And those who loyally followed this serial probably saw each chapter several times over will most likely notice various story bits and events that will leave nitpickers to play a game of gotcha when they spot a plot hole. I'm sure that the writers noted them as they were pretty obvious, but then in their efforts in trying to tie up all loose ends to make perfect sense, they probably would have needed to sacrifice a lot of big moments which were super wow on the film. For their efforts to please the viewers in giving them the best cinematic entertainment, I completely forgive the writers and producers from being loose, from pushing for too much consistency. Okay, where are we? As someone who has been watching both the cinema and TV entries, it was rather frustrating to see very little links between the two mediums. Many characters from the MCU like Coulson and Carter, who originated from the film series, have successfully migrated to their TV story arcs, but there was zero migration from those that first appeared on the TV shows to even appear on any of the previous MCU entries. For the very first time, a character from the TV series finally managed to make its appearance in the MCU with Endgame. Most of the Marvel fans probably would have noticed, but I certainly did. It was very brief, but the sight of such character got me excited that many good characters, those from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Netflix shows, will get their fair share of cinema time in the future. And this is the last paragraph. With the end of this 22-chapter serial arc, expectations for the next serial will be a very tough act to follow. It seems almost impossible to recreate the same magic what Endgame managed to conclude. But then again, no one ever thought that a universe that started out as comic books, considered by earlier generation as poor literature, will ever be able to recreate the same interacting universe on the big screen. That alone was a huge accomplishment that deserves applause, and I'm looking forward to Kevin Feige and his team to surprise us once again. Rafi, thank you for a wonderful
Thank you. That was an awesome review.
You, such a brilliant and intelligent guy. And we will be right back for an exciting movie review of Endgame through the eyes of Timothy Dark, because these are the days of darkness. We'll be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere.
We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Inquire now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now.
Welcome back to another fabulous segment of
Welcome
the Fab
back.
Life, and like what we promised, we will hear the review of Timothy.
Oh,
Yay!
this is not a spoiler-free review.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna try to keep it as spoiler-free as I can, but it's just I'm so excited about where this is going because everybody was left with a storyline, pretty much.
Everybody.
You know, like Captain America, they have this whole period of time that goes unaccounted for.
Yes.
What did he do when he went back with Peggy Carter? Like, what happened? Like, how did you pull that off?
Oops, spoilers.
Sorry.
Major.
Oops, but
this is a major spoiler.
All right, everybody in the show pretty much has the opportunity to go on and fill in the gaps on their own TV shows. Let's put it that way. You know,
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So you could have a Captain America show where it shows what happened to him in that time period, and it ends with him returning back to previous times, present time.
Okay.
You know, or you could have a Scarlet Witch show. You could have the Black Widow movie. Could talk about what was she doing all those years.
I'm assuming it's a prequel. I mean, the movie that they're going to make about the Black Widow is definitely going to be a prequel.
But you know how when he came back and she was sitting at the desk and she was like delegating who was gonna take care of what. It was like Rocket Raccoon and it was like I feel like what happened in that time? You know, those 5 years that she was doing that. What kind of stuff were they taking care of? You know?
Okay.
So it could be like she's Fury for those 5 years. She could be Agent Fury and she's in charge, and you have like her delegating all the heroes to go and take care of different things on different parts of the world, or you know, when it comes to Captain Marvel, intergalactic problems, etc. You know? Yeah.
Now, not to interrupt your review, but you told me something, you know, during the commercial break that you wanted to say something to my because Rafi is watching right now. Hello,
Rafi,
cousin
hi.
Rafi.
Rafi, don't get it wrong. I love what you said. It was so well written. It was very eloquent. I just disagree with the plot hole thing. If you're talking about the plot holes as far as the timeline thing, which at first everybody thought was a plot hole, but then they explained how whatever happens, you know, as far as that timeline cannot be changed. So them going back doesn't change anything that already happened. It just creates alternate realities.
Yes.
Which is why we have what's going to happen in Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man.
Right. I think to all of us, because it's not funny, but Avengers has appealed to almost every single person on planet Earth.
Yes. Yeah.
And each of us, when we watch it, we get affected by it, and we have our own, you know, emotional response to the movie and our own take, you know, and how we take it.
Yeah.
You took it, you know, another way. I had to take a double take. I literally had to watch the movie the second time.
So did I.
And to be honest with you guys, and this is all honest, you know, with all the hype and all that, I really expected this thing to literally blow me out of the water, and it kind of did.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I found the story to be just a little bit, you know, underwhelming. But well, first of all, because somebody already ruined the ending for me.
Oh, that sucks.
And the funny thing is that
it wasn't me.
No, the one that ruined it for me was a journalist. Shame on you, journalist.
Shame on you, whoever you are.
You are a journalist.
Shame
you were
on you.
not supposed to do this. And he put the spoiler on the headline of his story. He put you shouldn't. You're a journalist. You should know better.
Yeah. And I'm doing this now because I feel like
because
at
it's
this
been
point,
2 weeks after.
It's been 2 weeks. If you didn't see it, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. So so basically, I had to watch it for the second time, and then I appreciated the story, because to me, you know, and like what Rafi said, you know, this is more than just the visual effects.
It is. And like he said, you know, this is a culmination of things that we've watched for what, 22 movies?
Yeah.
You know? So this means a lot to us to go see it and see it spoiler free. So I get it. Yeah. I'm sorry that happened, man. Like,
and all I needed to do was to tap on Google and lo and behold, that article was like and on my face, and and
somebody kind of spoiled it for me too. Like I saw it, but then I kind of like clicked away from it real quick. Yeah, you know, and I was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have looked." Yeah, damn it. But it didn't take away from the emotional impact that it had when I saw it. I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." Like, you know. Yeah. But as far as you saying it didn't hit me hard right away, it hit me from the beginning. Like, again, spoiler, that opening scene with Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
When he's teaching his daughter how to shoot the bow and arrow,
archery,
and then
they get
the way he reacted to that shit. That's how I would have reacted. Like, what the fuck happened to my family? We were just having a barbecue. Like, nobody wants burgers or hot dogs. Like,
although I totally disagree where the character of Hawkeye went, because I mean, to me, he went completely rogue.
He totally did.
Like he went completely rogue and started killing people that he was not supposed to kill, or he was probably supposed to kill that person, but he went, you know, vigilante, outside of the law, outside of the force.
Well, I think because the fans wanted that comic book storyline, because there's a storyline where
kind of like our new president right now in the Philippines, because before he became president, he started shooting bad people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah, and he's now our president.
Well, I don't hate our president that much. Then at least he ain't doing that. I'm not a fan of him, but
he started shooting bad people off of the streets, and he basically. But that's another story.
That's a crazy story. But in the comic book, there's a storyline where Hawkeye becomes Ronin, and he really does do that. So I guess people wanted it so bad, so they said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna give you Ronin."
And he did became Ronin.
He Ronin died. He Ronin the fuck out.
For a little while he became Ronin.
What was your favorite part?
Oh my gosh,
I have a couple.
Should I spoil this? Oh my gosh, I am eating the dark forbidden fruit right now. I'm the dark forbidden. and quoting my coworker, sexual chocolate?
Oh shit.
He got that from another movie.
Different movie, totally different movie.
Different movie.
There's no sexual chocolate.
No, I'm just messing with you. Wow, my favorite scene is with Nebula.
Okay, which scene? Not the
when she spoke to her old self.
Oh, that was dope.
Because you know her old self was really bad, was really wicked, and all about please. This guy influenced me to just spoil her, and now I'm spoiling it away.
But Nebula,
cat's out of the bag.
Nebula did steal the show at times. She was fucking awesome. Like her acting was just
and so going back to that, my favorite scene was when Gamora said to the old Nebula, "You don't need to do this."
Yeah.
And then Gamora said, "I am this."
Yes, yeah.
And then Nebula said the future Nebula said oh, hold on, I had a call. It kind of distracted me. The future Nebula said, "You can change."
Yeah.
And she said, "I can't." I can't. And after that, you and I know
which
what
is
happened.
kind of poetic because it's like killing your old self. Like
killing.
That's not me anymore. You know.
And to me, since I am doing, Saved by Grace, not to deviate.
No,
being
but it
saved
makes
by
sense.
grace is embracing your new self and abandoning your old self.
Right.
So
that was a good moment. I had two favorite moments. One was Thor when he met his mom. Because I miss my mom and those talks we used to have. So when they sat down and she was talking to him and she gave him the confidence to go on, I was like, oh wow, like that whole moment to me was like. And of course, what I waited for since Age of Ultron, Captain America actually taking the hammer. I was like, fuck, like the whole theater went, like I waited for that. Like, I felt like. That's why Marvel wins, because they'll give you shit and they won't give it to you. They'll make you wait.
Yes.
How many years ago was Age of Ultron? Was that 4 years ago? More, right?
Yes. It was like something like that.
So
4 years ago.
A moment almost given to you and then taken away. And you're like, fuck, I want to see that. And then when you see it like 5 years later, you're like, shit, it hits so much harder. So those two moments were, whew.
Yeah, Age of Ultron was really something else.
I like that movie.
I like
a lot of people don't like it, but I thought it was dope.
Yeah. So there you have it for the second segment of Fab Life. We will be right back, and don't go away.
Yo, what's up? I gotta
Yes.
Tony. Hi, Tony.
Yes.
Hi, Dominic. When we come back and we say shout outs to people, I lose my hands a lot. I don't know what I'm like.
We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business. and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Social Media Shows is teaming up with RevolutionRadio2.com to present Social Media Shows Sunday, featuring the very best of social media shows starting at 6 a.m. We begin our block with Saved by Grace, The Good News, In the Office, Musician Loves Honey, and ending with Dark Music Television. This is on every Sunday starting at 6 a.m. on RevolutionRadio2.com. And if you want to keep
She wears a long fur coat of me, even in the summertime. Everybody knows from the cold middle way, the girl's got a lot of money. She's got big thoughts, big dreams, and a big Mercedes sedan. What about this girl? She really wants to be in love with.
Welcome to the third exciting segment of Fab Life. Before we go on with this movie review of Endgame, would like to say hello to the people that have tuned in. Hello to my buddy from Boracay. That's a fabulous beach resort from the Philippines,
Really?
actually, and he lives there.
Okay.
Hi, Roland.
What's
I know
up,
his
Roland? What's
face
going
on Facebook is Rolando Masacayanes, but he's just known as Roland. Roland, Rolly, my friend,
Rolling.
and Ava,
What's
my
up, Ava?
sweetheart,
What's up, Ava?
and please kiss Sophia meatballs for me. That's her doggy.
Okay, kiss your doggy for me too.
And who else is there? And Raphael.
Shannon.
Thank you for tuning in and watching your movie review, and thank you for that link. He actually sent us a link to his Facebook, so people could actually go there and read it for
that's
themselves.
awesome. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you, Rafi.
Mhm.
And thank you. Who else was there?
Shannon.
Shannon. Hi,
Let
Shannon.
the music play. Rocco. Ayo,
Shannon.
Rocco.
Who else is there?
JD still here. JD, what up, baby? Chilling?
What are you doing, JD? Come back, Jack.
Come back. What's up, Mike?
Mike.
Ricardo, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Ricardo. I think that's my cousin, Ricardo.
What's up to your cousin?
Yes. Hi, Ricardo.
JC's cousin.
Yes. And
we
who
got?
else is there?
Got Dominic. What's up, Dominic?
Who is that?
Who's sad? Why you sad?
Cantina?
Catalina.
Oh,
Catalina. Don't be
Catalina.
sad.
Our regular
Wine House. Oh,
Oh,
my
she's
gosh.
sad because of
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I'm sad too. Believe me. Yes, I'm sad too. But hey,
Oh
look
my
at it like
gosh.
this. We got a whole new universe coming.
Yeah.
X-Men are coming. Fantastic Four is coming. So don't be sad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We got a multiverse now.
We got a multiverse right now, and have you seen? Have you? Oh my gosh!
I saw it.
This is actually one of my favorite guests because I haven't asked the question yet, and he already knows what the answer is.
I read his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you see this, director? He knows what's on my mind.
Mhm. That's the nerd. That's the nerd
Yeah,
connection, man.
we're connected.
Yeah,
There's a
nerd
connection.
I know all the nerds
There's a
already know
connection.
what we're talking about. The conniption.
Yeah.
The nerdiption. We're talking about Peter Parker.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you just hit the spot
talking
right
about-
there.
You're talking about the next installment
Oh
of
my gosh.
the Spider-Man universe. I know you've seen it. Wow.
I think I just had a nerdgasm.
So have I. Yo. So I had three. Just watching that trailer, I had like 4.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
When he said, "Oh, he's not from this world," I was like,
I know.
"Fuck."
No, and I love the fact that Tom Holland, before he introduced the trailer, he said, for those of you who haven't seen this,
Right.
for those of you who haven't seen Endgame yet, please don't watch this trailer.
Right.
So I'm glad he had the
Well, I'm glad
decency
they
to
picked
say,
him because he's the one that always spoils
yeah,
it.
he's the one who always
yeah.
spoils it. So I'm glad that he became like MCU born again.
Well, oh shit. Well, that means he grew up.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
he grew up. Yeah, he changed. He changed like Nebula.
Yeah, exactly. And like Gamora.
Yes, and Gamora too.
What do you think is gonna happen with Gamora now?
My director is trying to tell us something.
Yes, director.
Yes, director.
What would you like to tell us?
Yes, I'm
She's
so...
holding a mic and she's looking at me. Oh shit!
Oh my gosh! So we got the music from the...
Yes.
Yes, it's music to our ears.
I need a shield.
Yes, a shield. I need a hammer. I need Stormbreaker.
Yo, when I hear that,
Yeah.
I get inspired, man. Like, I want to do good things.
Yes.
I want to save cats from trees.
Avengers,
Assemble! Dude, when he said that, he could have said that a long time ago.
Yes.
But the fact that he said it and he had like a whole army behind him, or Avengers,
I
made
know.
it so much more meaningful.
I thought that to me, like more than Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've seen Endgame, I believe that I see Infinity Wars and Endgame as just one big movie.
Right. I see it all as one big
Now,
movie. From Iron Man all the
So
way.
if you're, our director wants us to,
No spoilers,
what is it?
my
No
heart.
spoilers, but my heart got
I'm
broken.
sorry.
11 years. Oh, so sorry. I was very...
Thankful and proud.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry your heart
You have
got
to
broken.
deal with 2 old guys who need glasses. Wait a minute. Is that a letter A?
Is that better or worse?
Catalina, I'm sorry that I pronounced your name as Cantina, but it's missing all the
He's a
letters.
Star Wars fan. That's why he said Cantina.
How do you know?
Oh
my gosh. This guy is really creeping me out. He's reading my mind right here.
That's my mutant power. I read minds.
He's got Jedi powers.
That's right, I got Jedi powers. Speaking of mind
like,
powers, Dark
You will
Phoenix
lose
is coming.
These
Dark Phoenix,
restraints
bro.
right now.
Dark
Dark
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes, but that's a whole another thing coming up this summer, and we'll do a review about that too.
Yes, stay tuned.
We
Dark
will,
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. But going back to the climactic battle scene of Endgame.
Yes.
Catalina, I know that your heart is broken.
Catalina, sorry.
But please still watch this movie in spite of everything.
Yes.
Still watch this movie.
Sorry.
And we'll probably go watch it with you if you like.
I'll watch it with you. We'll go with you. Let's all
Yeah,
go
we'll
together.
go with you.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I just figured everybody saw it. That's
Yeah.
why I said spoiler.
You got 2 shoulders to cry on,
Yes,
the
yes.
queen and the prince, the king over here.
The queen and the king.
The
You sit
queen-
between us.
Or you can call me the ace of spades.
He's the ace of spades.
Yeah.
I'm the king of Asgard.
Yeah.
And Wakanda.
Asgard. Wakanda forever.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, my
shit.
gosh, here we go.
Stand
again.
up.
Yes.
That's like the anthem. That's my anthem.
Ibombe! Ibombe! Ibombe!
Yo, our producers got us all amped up now.
Yeah.
I'm about to go see it a third time.
Yeah, I will.
Let's take Catalina with us.
Yeah, and Maria, she'll have to see Infinity
Maria didn't
Wars
see it
first.
yet.
Yeah, Infinity Wars
Oh
first
wow.
before, yeah.
Wow, you gotta go to school,
Yeah,
Maria.
yeah.
She gotta go to school. She's saying yes.
Yeah, she's saying yes, and the next time that she'll see us, she'll freak out with the shirt.
Oh
And she'll
yeah.
be like,
But
oh my
she-
gosh, you're wearing the shirt!
I saw the movie.
Oh my gosh!
I can't believe it. Can I touch it? Is that real?
Oh, is that real?
What is that?
Is
Velvet? Yeah, man. So, what do you think going forward? Like, what do you think they're gonna do?
Well,
going
let's
forward?
not go forward.
I want to go forward, man. I just want to know.
No, because we got cut off. We're
Oh yeah,
going
you're right.
to talk about the
I'm a
climactic.
futurist. Sorry.
Like me
Yeah.
too. The climactic battle scene
All right, so
was
back to the battle
really
scene. Yeah.
was super awesome. I mean,
it was.
seeing all the superheroes come back.
Yeah.
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
But just
Jack came back.
just him standing alone,
Yes. Mhm.
you know, by himself with the fucking broken shield, you know, it was like, man, what's gonna happen right now? Like, what's he gonna do? You know?
Yes, yeah,
And
yeah.
then you heard,
and,
you know,
and
on your
to,
left.
and to see, I think that we shouldn't spoil this for them.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil
There's
this.
a
I'm gonna shut up.
special.
I'm gonna shut up.
There's a special superhero that appeared towards the end that I really love. No, and it's not Carol.
It's not Carol.
Carol
As much as he loves
delivered.
Carol.
Yeah, Carol. Carol came through.
Yeah.
And I
It's
mean,
not
is
Carol.
that Carol?
It's
Yes, it was Carol, but we're not talking about Carol right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's another,
Yeah.
And I love what she was wearing because she was in silver. I love silver.
No, they.
She was like Silverado
Yeah.
all the way.
yeah,
So we're not gonna.
We're not gonna spoil that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything else. That's all the spoilers I'm giving. I'm sorry if you didn't see it. I'm sorry if I broke hearts or whatever. I
Yeah.
apologize. But I figure by now everybody saw it. That's it. I'm not saying anything else spoiler wise.
It was a story. It ended with mixed emotions.
Yeah,
I was
totally.
happy and sad,
sad at the same time.
At the same time, and
Mhm.
delirious
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah. And happy
Yeah.
that Marvel's not afraid to make those choices.
And I know that we got a minute left, but before this minute is over, I just want you to know that because I watched it in the IMAX theater, I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. I felt like I was part of it.
And which IMAX theater did you watch it in?
At the Palms, of course. Brendan, we love our daddy Brendan with his big guns.
There you go, Brendan. He gave you a shout out.
The Brendan Theater, who happens to be the grandson of Esther Williams.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fun fact.
And the owner of the Chinese theater in Hollywood.
Oh shit! Another fun fact.
So he's a big gun right there.
Oh yeah, he's definitely big gun with big guns.
Yeah. So we'll be right back, and don't go away. We'll be talking about the future of the MCU.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now.
This program is brought to you by VIP Vacations, Social Media Shows, Suncoast Casino, Boyd Gaming, Dark Music Television, Paparazzi by Jessica, and What Fashion Boutique, Dark Seed Entertainment, GG Chic Pet Clothing, GG Chic Credit and Financial Counseling, RevolutionRadio2.com, and KevonTyree.com.
Welcome back
Yes.
to the last segment of the movie
Yes,
review of Avengers Endgame here on FAB Live. Wakanda forever.
We automatically do that, man.
Yeah.
That was the Bronx theme first, though. We had that first.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, now, but just to let you know, the Sibombe thing really came from an African tribe.
Oh no, the Sabambe thing, but I mean, doing that was like
Oh,
BX,
that
BX,
one,
yeah. But it's all right, you know. It's
Okay,
still,
okay.
Yeah.
They fused it. They fused
it together.
Together, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So we got a little bit of Africa and the Bronx fused into one.
Which makes sense, as hip hop came from the Bronx, it also came from Africa, and all. You know, it makes sense.
Oh my goodness,
full
this
circle.
is just.
Sorry, I got a little deep there.
No, but it's good, you know, because since we're talking about the MCU, I mean, Black Panther is really, to me, it was really deep.
It was deep.
It was a deep movie, and I mean, there was no dry eye in the theater, you know, when I saw that movie. And I was one of them. I was like crying throughout the movie, and especially seeing, you know, Angela Bassett is my queen.
No, she's awesome.
She is my
awesome.
queen.
She doesn't age either.
No, she does not. Yeah.
I was at work one day and she walked by me in the hallway.
Yeah.
She does not change. Like she looks exactly the same.
And even if
It's
one
crazy.
day I'm gonna meet, you know, Angela Bassett in some home for the aged thingy, I mean, to me, she'll still
She'll be the
continue
same.
to be
Exactly,
great. She'll
exactly.
probably beat me with that chain. It's just like, get out of my sight, boy.
Whoa. She probably won't even have a walker or a cane. Angela Bassett would just be like, she'll be standing up while all other people are in fucking wheelchairs and shit. She'll be like,
and of course, like in my Michael B. I mean,
oh no, he's the man.
When he
He's the
appeared, you're like, he's the bad guy. Oh, I didn't notice. I just noticed something else.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing about Michael B. After that movie, I hit the gym harder than ever. I was like,
oh my gosh,
you know,
Michael B.
Trying to compete. Michael B. Shout out to that man. All the hard work. Shout out.
Yeah, not so good thoughts.
You got my man sweating over here.
Michael B, what did you do to me?
You got him sweating over here, dude. Props to that workout routine, man.
I know. Now you just gave a shout out to the LGBTQ community with what you
shout
did.
out to them too, yo. I'm cool with everybody, man. You know me, I don't discriminate.
I'm
man.
just kidding.
Across the rainbow. You know?
Oh yes.
Rainbow, yeah.
Across the Asgardian rainbow.
That's right, man. Everybody.
First of all, the first time that I saw the Asgardian rainbow from the first movie Thor, a lot of some gay people were laughing at that because it looked like a disco floor.
It does.
You know, from Saturday Night Fever.
It does.
But done in a fantastic way, you know, because while they were like, the horse was galloping on that lighted freeway, like it was just, you know, changing colors, purple, yellow.
I never thought about that, but you're right. But what about, what's his name with the ship? In Guardians. I mean, the sparks coming out of his ship. Yeah. He was ill.
Oh, and by the way, the ship is called the Benatar, which I really love because
Pat
Benatar, you know, I mean, 80s, all over the place.
And don't forget the Milano, the other ship.
Oh, yes.
Alicia Milano.
Yes. Oh, my
Shout out to
God.
Alicia Milano, man.
Yeah.
I'll shout you out. We talk about you, I'm going to shout you out. Alicia Milano still is.
Yes,
amazing.
Amazing. So now in this last segment, we are going to talk about the future of the MCU. And I've read a few articles on social media that I think that Angelina Jolie has joined forces
for the Eternals
for
movie.
the Eternal movies. Yeah,
I can see that. For the future, I see, and I read a lot of articles about this too. I see them bringing Galactus in for the next big villain. Because where do you go after Thanos? You can't go backwards. You can't be like, all right, Thanos. Now let's go to, I don't know, Puppet Master. You got to go forward. So Galactus is the biggest villain that they could go for.
And we'll be probably seeing more of Thor, you know, in the future. Because like you said earlier, did you say earlier that he signed up for more movies?
Yeah, he wanted more because they're going to do Guardians of the Galaxy since he's with them now.
And plus, he still looks young.
Yeah, he definitely still looks young.
Still looks
But
young.
except for those couple of scenes, but we're
Yeah,
not gonna talk
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Well, it was purposely done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah.
done it on
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, and Valkyrie too.
Valkyrie. I want to
Yeah.
see more Valkyrie. Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen now that she has a new arc? I'm not gonna say what it is.
Oh my gosh,
know?
that flying white horse with
Yeah.
wings! I love that
The
scene.
Pegasus. Yeah.
That looked very like post-apocalyptic,
Mm-hmm.
biblical proportion. This is the type of stuff that you see like in the book of Revelation come to life.
Right.
Forces
right,
of light
right,
against the forces
right,
of darkness. No pun intended, because look, these are the
That's
last days
okay.
of darkness, you
That's
know, because
okay,
you keep
that's
on
okay,
saying
that's
that, you
okay.
know.
These are the last days of dark, you know.
But this guy keeps on saying these are the last days of dark, but I see a lot of light in this guy, and I'm not just blowing
Thank you,
smoke
brother.
up your
Thank you.
arsenal.
Thank you.
But I see a lot of light in you.
Thank you. Well, you know, you can't see
yeah.
the stars without the dark, so
Yes.
you know.
Here we go again. Yeah.
Sorry, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and getting off Marvel for a minute, DC, I was always a fan of both. Like, I collected both comics when I was younger. I feel like DC needs to stop for a minute and see where they're going as far as direction. Because I feel like their movies are good, but they don't have that that one point where they can all come together like Marvel does. You know?
Yeah.
I think they can do it, but they need to stop and think. And stop thinking financially and think about the heart, you know? And Marvel has the heart. Because every time I watched Endgame, every 10 minutes I was like, shit, fuck, damn, oh, what the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was it was an emotional roller coaster for me.
Yeah.
And they don't have that heart.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Good movies, but Wonder Woman had the most heart, I think.
Wonder Woman had the most heart, and I believe, you know, personally, that Batman versus Superman had the heart. To me, because I'm such a diehard fan of the Man of Steel.
Okay.
I cried. I cried
Really?
because he was very kind. He was strong and tough as steel, but yet deep down inside him, he was all heart and kindness.
That's true. That is true.
And Bruce Wayne was very harsh on him.
Yeah.
Very, very harsh.
I guess I say they're missing heart because, you know, all the years that Tony and Cap were friends.
Yeah.
And then in Civil War, when you had that moment when he was like, you know, but he's my friend.
Yeah.
And then Tony goes, and so was I. That moment broke me. I was like, shit,
Yeah,
you know?
yes,
Because
yes.
they built up to that. So
Yes.
I guess I don't mean that DC movies don't have any heart at all.
Yeah.
But they need to build up to that point where they say something you're like, fuck. You know?
Yeah.
Like I want to be crushed. Crush me.
I think what kind of ruined the DCU was the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Because it went from one director to another, and I love both directors. By the way, I love Joss Whedon, who directed
Oh, Joss Whedon is dope.
Avengers.
Yeah.
But then I have a high respect for Zack Snyder too. I love
Watchmen.
his vision. Yeah.
Watchmen was one of my favorite movies.
Oh, don't get me started with Watchmen. Patrick Wilson was the
For other reasons.
Patrick.
No, that movie was
Patrick.
Patrick and what was the other one you said earlier?
No, but it was only Patrick for me.
Oh shit. Patrick, he's coming
I'm
for
like,
you,
like,
bro.
why?
He's coming for you.
And he was also an Aquaman, like he was
he
the
was.
yeah. What was he, the Sea Master or something?
Yeah, the villain. The
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I liked Aquaman.
Orm. I love his
Orm. Yeah, that's a weird name.
Hello, Orm.
Orm. Man, you have a baby and you're like, I think I'll name him Orm.
Oh. I'm thinking about him as a baby, but not that type of a baby.
This review is going sideways.
Oh my gosh, this is.
I can say a lot of things too about a lot of the ladies in the movies, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna be a gentleman.
But going back to
there was a lot of women power in these fucking.
Absolutely.
Oh shit! Like
Girls, is on fire.
Girls on Fire.
Yeah, Girls on Fire. Like when all of
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. And Carol.
Yeah.
And who
Carol,
else? And that Silver Woman who we're not gonna say the Silver Woman.
But Scarlet
and Valkyrie.
Witch, when she did what she did, I was like, shit.
And Gamora and Nebula.
Yes,
They were all
yes,
there in
yes.
that scene
Don't forget,
together.
don't forget,
hmm
I don't want to say it though.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
The
it. I'm gonna fuck
Silverado
it up.
woman.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah,
say
the
it.
Silverado. I mean, it was like a fashion scene from a runway of Paris. I should call it Muglarian because my favorite designer from Paris used to have these fashion shows, and he was inspired by comic book characters.
Really?
Actually.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So was I.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Girls are on fire.
Yeah. So the director is on fire
She's
right
on
now.
fire right now. She's like the director
The
and the
director,
DJ.
yes. And see,
She's like,
this is the reason why I love that particular designer from Paris who incidentally made Sasha Fierce costume when you
she
saw
did. Yeah.
Beyonce wearing the robot costume and the motorcycle.
Yeah.
That was Mugler.
Oh, I can see that.
So
That's definitely superhero.
so the look, that superhero villainous look is from Mugler, and they call it Muglarian. So
which is superhero
Yeah.
on his own, Muglaria. That's a planet.
yeah.
I'm from Muglaria.
So that scene, that scene in Endgame where all the superheroines, combined forces, it looked like a Muglarian scene.
Definitely, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
that. I love that. I love so many moments about them. It's 3 hours, so
It's
I could
3
say,
hours.
I could talk about this all night because
And
I'm
never
a nerd sitting next to a nerd, and when that happens, we have nerdgasms, and it just keeps going and going and going. So we could be here
I
all
never
day.
peed. Did you pee?
I did. I peed before I went in.
I peed before I
I
went in.
peed extra. Like I said,
Because
let me pee
it clocked in
extra.
at 3 hours.
Yeah, I peed extra,
Yeah.
and I was good.
You were good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
before
I had
watching
extra
this
pee.
movie, please don't bring a huge tumbler of
Don't buy the
soda.
big soda. Buy the small soda.
Don't buy soda, period.
You can buy soda. Damn.
Yeah, because
There goes our Pepsi endorsement.
there goes like oh no, I need to go to the restroom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
you cannot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: don't drink beer before you see it.
Oh,
Don't drink beer.
did you
'cause
hear
you're-
that? Or perhaps don't drink tequila.
no, drink tequila.
Don't drink Patron
Oh,
before watching. Somebody just gave us 2 stars.
yes, 2 stars.
The little twin stars
Now I can
from
retire.
Sanrio.
Okay, so how many stars would you give Avengers Endgame?
After seeing it the second time, I would probably give it 5.
Out of 5?
5 out of 5, I would give it a 5. To me, I was brokenhearted.
Mm-hmm. You were
I
happy.
was like delirious,
Mhm.
this hopeful,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
now what sprang out of it is
Mhm.
we're going to see a lot more of Black Panther, Spider-Man,
Yes.
and we're going to
Carol.
see more of Bucky.
Carol, don't forget your girl Carol.
Oh, I'll never forget my girl Carol.
Nah, she's awesome. She's awesome. I give it 1,000,000 stars,
Mm-hmm.
if that's possible. Rain stars, rain
Oh, she's
stars.
making shit. Our director,
stars.
when my director jumps up and
This is how
down
many stars I
behind
give
the
it.
camera, like I have a complete meltdown. Like, what do you want me to do now? What am I gonna
What do I do now? Should I do this with my hands?
Should I do this?
Should I do this?
Should I do this?
But yeah, man, it was so. It's my favorite Marvel movie to date, connected to Infinity War. Like together, I think that's
Yeah.
like you said, that's one movie. So those two together are my favorite. So stars beyond stars.
Stars beyond stars, and I'm looking forward to the Eternals, and I'm looking forward
Yes.
to seeing
Yes.
Angelina Jolie
Yes.
as a Celestial.
Mhm.
Or did I say it right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Look, it's raining
It's
stars.
raining stars.
Hallelujah.
So,
yes,
we get in the queued up.
yes, we're
Yeah.
gonna. So that's it for another fabulous moment here in Fab Life, and see you next time for
Next
another
time.
exciting episode. And thank you
Thank
so
you for
much,
having me, brother. Thank you.
Timothy Dark.
Anytime.
Yeah, you'll always be here
I'll
for
always
as
be
long
here.
as you're here in Las
That's
Vegas.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
so much. And don't forget your greatest fashion accessory, and I added to it, is good manners.
Yes.
And self-confidence.
Yes.
Chowder.
Watch DMT.
Yes, watch DMT. This is DMT.